Hi there. Today we're going to be making a knife bandolier for a character I'm making for an upcoming movie. It's a leg bandolier, and I've left a pattern in the description section for you to work with. To start, we're going to cut the pattern out as I've done here, and then to get ahead of the game, we're going to poke some holes in all the spots that are shown, just like that, using an awl or hole punch, whatever you have. We're going to transfer this to here, and you see this will make it easier for when we're going to use the punch to attach the belt loops. Now we're going to try to give it a little bit of a texture, so we're going to get an iron and a piece of tin foil, crunch it all up good. Doesn't have to be anything special, any way you like. And then we're going to, once this is heated up, we're going to press down on the iron and try to get it to leave an impression on the foam. And we're going to do that all over every single piece. Okay, now we're going to attach strap loops onto the main piece using these other ones where you cut a lot of them out. We simply put it through here, fold them over, and try to line them up with the holes. If everything works, you should be able to see right through. Then push through the rivet, and then press on the cap. Press them in, press them down. Like so. Now, if you like, and I do usually do this, I like to put some hot glue down in that same area. This is optional, especially on the back, because you're not going to see it. You can do it a little bit on the front, but you got to work quick. Helps keep it in place. Optional, but I thought I'd show you. And just like that, we have the basics of our knife belt. So I've chosen these 3 deadly knives to make my knife belt. And to start, we're going to take this one long piece that's 2 inches by as long as you want, because you're going to have to put the knives in place where you want them, and then press down and choose the spot for the other holes, because you can't just pick the normal, like they won't be the same for every knife because some knives are thicker than others. So you have to do this based on the knives that you plan on using. And that way they're nice and snug and come in and out as you wish. Start things off, we're going to do the edge and get this in place. line up the knife strap where you like it, and try to go through the opposite side holding on to the belt. It's a little tricky, and then you can come through in the right spot, like so. Do that on the other hole, trying not to let it move. And now you have 2 holes in the right spots. Quickly, without letting go, put the rivets through and cap them. And then press those ones in. Hopefully you've lined up the holes properly. Alright, now you have something to hold on to. Guys, this is a little juggly. I would get all your pieces out ahead of time for this one. Take your first knife, slide it in, put it right where you like it, and then punch through carefully where you think you want them. Give it a little extra space, but not too much. Shows here. Maybe try to go up. I'm going to go a little higher to line up with the other one better. Then push through. Get that first one through. Put a cap on it. Lose the cap. In this case, I would press it before going to the next one. And then line up the next one. Remembering to line up square with the other 2. Put your cap in. Press it down. And there you have the first knife. You're going to repeat the process for each of the other knives, ending up with the 2 end holes. That way everything will line up nicely. So I use the same, in this case, the same knife, and do this again. You can test out the third one if you feel like it. Trying to find a nice spot in the middle. It's not as difficult as it looks. Just make sure it's nice and tight and snug enough for your knife. Alright. Should be able to put all 3 knives in now. Like so. Alright, now we make the snap loops that go around the handles to keep the knives in place. There's no template for these because they are based on the knife handle that you have. So you need to cut out one. I've been using 3/4 of an inch in size, thickness, and this isn't it, but this is just my test. Go underneath and wrap it. Make sure there's room for a snap. Make it as tight as you like. I wouldn't over tighten it. Just to get a circle. And once you get that, you're happy with it, take it off, measure it, and then this one is just shy of 5 inches long. I'm doing 4 3/4. So cut the actual ones that you want to that size, and I'm going to mark it here. Try to find the center as best you can. Now we're going to do the first side of the snap. And it's going to have one of these pieces for the other side. Make sure to kind of test it. So, first, I got it backwards because these spring snaps can be confusing, even if you've done a bunch of them. Right, that's one. Alrighty. Got 3 of those done. So this part has to go into there. So remember that. So this should be ultimately up here. So this should go underneath. This will end up right there, with the goal of snapping together. Did everything right, you have a snap. And there you go. Alright, so you see we've got holes here, roughly where you need them. So you're going to try to snap it up to get a feel, and you're trying to put a rivet into that hole. So if it's a little off center, because this was all guesstimation on that part, you want to punch your own hole. So looks like the 2 on the edge, they're perfectly good. This one's a little questionable. Won't matter, you're not going to see it with the knife in the way, and with this there as well. So take the knife out, looks like, and try to find the center lined up with here. Doesn't have to be perfect because you're not going to see it. Just want to use the other hole as a guideline for how far up and how far over. So you can crisscross. I'm going to say about here. Great thing about these double caps are they're the same on either side, appearance-wise. So there you have your first one. So you should be able to stick the knife in and snap it up. There you go. You can use any types of straps that you like. I'm using Velcro because it's easy to put on and off in a hurry. And it holds great, and you really can't tell it's Velcro unless the person's watching you put it on or off. But you could use leather, you could use fake leather, whatever you need. I go for what's easy. I use about a foot, but you can go larger if you're not sure. If you don't know how fat your leg is in the one spot, I would go a little extra, but you can always cut another one if you need to. So I'm going to do them all about this length. Putting the straps on is a matter of inverting the top with the bottom. So it doesn't matter which one you do as long as they are the opposites. So fold it over to your liking. And then the top, you do it in reverse. They stick together or something fierce when you're doing this. So do this in reverse. And then when they join, you'll have the two appropriate sides. You can do as much or as little as you want. That's why I cut more. And then if there's a lot up here, it'll hold better. But you can adjust it in case you've cut too much. So we'll wing that. And you just do the same thing on the other parts. We can trim this part, and I just use scissors. Now, since I'm putting one of these on each leg, I took another one that I did earlier, and the prototype, as it were. And so this one should be the opposite of the other one. This one will go off this way, so you want the belt hook on this side. So this one's belt hook should be on the opposite side. So in this case, you want the knives to go backwards, so the belt hook should be on the top. So we're literally just going to fold it over, punch two holes, try to line them up as usual. And then we're going to do the same thing on here. Now, you can go in as far as you want on this. If you wanted to do 4, it'll be even more secure. You can do 2. I have had no problem with 2. Now, I would highly recommend trying to put a little hot glue before you press those. Just in there where it can't be seen. And do that one side. And even on the inside if you can. here's your finished knife bandolier. And now my helper Bob is going to show us the final leg bandolier. Come on out here, Bob. Well, you see, Bob is showcasing all of the work we put in it. Oh, hi, Gigantor. Sorry, that happens from time to time. You see, Bob's showcasing the leg bandolier, and it should be good as formal wear, or night wear, or perhaps, you know, for assassinations, things like that. Thanks for coming out. See you next time.